Welcome to LearnPro once again. We say at LearnPro, get the skills you need. Our last video we did was on artificial intelligence with prompt engineering, and we are going to do part 2 of that. This time around, you will see some example on that. Just to recap, we addressed the artificial intelligence with prompt engineering. We also saw why prompt engineering is so much important, why it matters, where you have improved accuracy, time saving, cost reductions, policies alignment, as well some basic structure of prompt engineering, which we all need to address. And most of the time, the 6 major component of the prompt engineering, you need to try to infuse that within your prompt, but depends on your prompt. You can also do some exemptions, as we said prior to our video one. And then we have some specific instructions you need to address in terms of prompt engineering. You had to specify the actions or your verb. You need to state the constraint, how many informations or the length of records of size of what info you need. It could be 2 pages, it could be 100 pages, depends on how many paragraph you want. The audience and the output templates. We are just doing a recap on this and the common mistakes that you make, and you need to try to avoid it, because we also saw tangible solutions in that. And today we want to address some major things, some types of prompt engineering. We have zero-shot prompting, we have one-shot prompting, we have few-shot prompting. There's a whole list of them. We equally has contextual prompting, we have template prompting, we have comparative prompting, we have analytical prompting. So it depends on exactly what you want. And it's a whole list. We can go through all of them. So today, let's address these 3 major prompting today. Zero-shot prompting, which will equally give you an example on that. And is discretion provide a task without example, fast, simple, required, minimal preparations. And you can see many meaningful question and answer definition, summarization, content generations. And then one-shot prompting provide one example before the actual task is being implemented. Is improve accuracies and consistencies, says usage, email drafting, formatting of tags, clarifications. And we have few-shot prompting provide multiple example, produce highly structured and consistent output meant for data clarifications and sentiments analysis, report generation. So these are key instances where you can use those various prompts. So today, we'd just like to share some key points here to ensure that we get some clarity in line with what we have learned at the previous videos. Well, let's move on that note, and we will be able to show you some key points in terms of one-shot prompting. And in this case, you can see where we say you are the senior data analyst, a business intelligence consultant, and management advisor. This you are telling the system that he's exactly this. So you are being precise. As well, too, you have requested that it should analyze the provider sales data sets. Next thing, per our request, as you can see here from this, next we had to state the okay, the goal. I stated the goal, and then next the context. In this case, we are looking at a sales transaction based on the attached data sets. So in short, it's a smaller hypothetical data sets which have 6 columns, well stated. And as we said earlier, one-shot prompts put in an example first. So it have constructed the columns with one row example, and stating 2026 transactions was just within January, and then stating the salesperson name, the regions, the products, sales amount, quantity sold. So those are the information stated. Next, we need to equally see. So we have a lot of informations on our prompt, require analysis. We could choose to say we want to have an executive summary of our reports, having total revenues, total quantity sold, and number of regions, number of products, number of salesperson, and then complete key business insights, highlights. So we want to also address performance analysis as well, regional analysis. You want to address sales person performance, depends on you, and the trends analysis well, and then also build a recommended pivot tables per the data sets, and then give us the key performance index dashboard metrics and management insights, decision-making recommendations for the, action that we can take for the next 30 days or medium-term action, long-term actions, and visualizations, recommendations. Now, the output, which is key parts of our structure, how do you want the output to be like? Use professionals' business language. So you can see that structured report with executive summary, key funding, and KPI dashboard, detailed analysis, strategic insight, and conclusions, and etc. So all of these are key points you had to hammer within your data set. So whatever you want or how you want it to be done, you can tell your prompt, or you can choose to omit some of these analysis you want, or insight or recommendations, or whatever you want. So I'm just trying to stress on key points which we have elaborated within our prompt. So with this, I'm just going to highlight that and infuse it. And also we want example expected insight from our dashboard management recommendations and blah, blah, blah. So this prompt will produce a management ready report suitable for Excel pivot tables, Power BI dashboard, and executive presentations and strategic planning meetings. So I will just have this and then put that into my prompt. But before that, I stated that it should be based on specific data sets. So I will include that data set right now. And that data set would be company sales data pivot tables demo. And I infuse that data set and paste the records in it. So I paste all those informations as stated in my prompt constructively. And note, this is a one prompt example, and we want you to have a fair understanding on how you can go on your structure, but we can choose to also omit some of these things. Now, depends on your AI. If it's a pay solutions, you may get deeper insight. And we are just using ChatGPT and the trial. We also have some pay solution on others prompts, but let's use this one within our Excel. Preferably, when you are doing any in-depth analysis, we recommend that you subscribe and get deeper, meaningful feed from your prompt. So I'm going to run this now. Well, depends on how fast your internet is, depends on how fast your machine is, and you have your report in no time, but it's still reading. And we just wait some few minutes and we'll get that report. So basically, as I was saying, there are a lot of prompts, and it's healthier to go by the structures of the prompt, which we have elaborated here in previous video. And I said, I'll just recap on that. And we said also try to avoid most of those mistakes, which can lead to a lot of um, hallucinations. But equally, we said that what areas you are working with, it is very, very important that you have a domain speciality such that when those issue of hallucinations occurred, you can be able to identify them. Let's see what is happening. Fantastic. So Chad has given us our business intelligence sales analysis reports. So the report have given us our total revenue for the business based on the hypothetical data set I use. It also gave us the total quantity sold in terms of the product we have, number of product region we was able to infuse the 16 region of Ghana into that data set, number of products, and the number of sales person. We have 10 sales officers. And now let's see key business insights, sorry. We have laptop sales. We generated the largest share of total revenue. So you can see it clearly tells you where Greater Accra with the highest revenue. And then we have Kwame Manson achieved the highest accumulative sales revenues. So it's giving us some overall key finding overall performance. And so you can see you don't really need to waste much time. You can just have your prompt infuse your data set. Look at the product performance. As we saw that laptop was the greatest, and by setting those laptops depends on the specifications of that laptops, and selling about 32 of them, giving us 45.4% revenue at the end of the D-Day, because perhaps the specs of the laptops and the cost of it, and detailed analysis, top revenues, products, highest quantity sold, and you have lowest performance products, and regional analysis. So the region two, let's say, is central, the fourth is central, and then we have Volta regions have done second there. Then we have lowest is Bono, you have Northeast, Savannah, so you have Bono East region. Depends on your data set, but you can see clearly sales person performance. This is giving you all the deeper insights on your prompting, and that can give you a lot of info, and in no time you can submit this to management, and management will be able to make, based on the report, they can come up with sound decisions. Yes, you can equally, yes, if you have some knowledge on Excel, I'm just giving you something on Excels, which I have done per the same data sets in Excels. And you can see clearly, if I say I want to know sales for maybe laptop product, you can clearly see. And then I can see from this end, I can see Kwame Mensah having huge sales in those regions. I can see Mark Ajay. I can see Patricia Antwi. So all these information, if I also want to just look at printers, and depends if I want to include specific sales person here, I can just choose that. I want on that, it will equally give me that, please, this is Excel, but I just want you to know we have so many tools we can explore, but this is Excel's doing that as well. But you can see that with the AI having a constructed prompt, in no time, you can have those answers. So assuming I want to equally from Excel, I can say, okay, I want to just have info on Kwame and on and then as on which products on laptop. And it tells me straight away that Kwame sold 25,900 in two major regions, a Halford region and then the Greater Accra region, generating about 25,900 just on sales. So you can see this is a fantastic tools to Excel. And we have just used AI, prompt engineering, to come up with meaningful, deeper info in Excel or in other tools, in Tableaus, in other tools. You have to do a lot of things. Yes, Alem Pro, this is why I would say come and get the skills you need. Alem Pro, we are ready and we can give you deeper insight on more kinds of prompting depends on the records. We have huge data sets that can give a deeper insight. We have data sets on, let me just give you some list of what data sets we have here. Huge one of them. And those data sets are powerfully great and you can do a lot of things on them. I have data set on hospitals, online hospital stuff. We have it, and we have data sets on sales generations. So a huge stuff, online shopping stuff. We can create a lot of scenarios based on the record. So based on one company to another company as a maybe AI consultants or a consultant of whatever business, you are able to do that. So today we were able to demonstrate at least one shot prompt, and that gave you a tangible report, and that very report you can now submit your report to your management. And it's a fantastic tools, but the most important thing is creating your prompts, creations of your prompts. And I will just make you to see that prompt again, which plays a very important role to everything we're doing. It depends on what you want. I can also rerun this thing, depends on maybe I want specific analysis. Maybe I just want KPI dashboard metrics, or I want just want the pivot table recommendations, which I just did in Excel as well. So it depends on exactly what you want. But once again, your structures, as we have highlighted here, you have to be precise, concise, and state the constraint level of what you want. Well, this is what we have for you today. Hope to see you at LEMPRO. And if you want to have deeper knowledge on these prompt engineering with different kinds of prompt, in-depth analysis, we say come and we are ready to guide you to ensure that you have deeper knowledge in terms of prompt engineering. Have a blessed time and bye for now.